products. After that one, what I'll be doing, I'll be adding all the partial product in order to get the final product. So that's a basic multiplication process will be taking place. If I need to multiply 11 into 11, I'll be multiplying what first 1 into 1 and 1 into 1, I'll get 1 and 1. Again, the second one will be multiplied with 1 into 1 and 1 into 1, I'll be getting 1 1. So this 1 1 and 1 1 are called as a partial products. And after getting that one, those two 1 1s, those two 11s which are called as partial product will be again added up. So that is called addition. When you do that one, you'll get an answer as 121. So from this one small example, we can understand that any multiplier has to be constructed with the help of logic gate called as AND gate. Why do we need AND gate? We know that AND operation is what? A dot B. It is A into B we'll be doing. So AND gate is required. Whenever you are trying to obtain a partial product, you require an AND gate. And at the same time, if you want to get the final product of any kind of multiplication, you will be adding all the partial products. So for that one, you require an adder. So ultimately, we can say that any kind of multipliers are being designed with the help of AND gates and also adders. So adders and AND gates are the inculcated subsystems or sub components of any kind of the multipliers. So now let us see what is called as a multiplier and different kind of multipliers. The first one, binary multipliers. So here first I'll try to explain the binary multiplier with respect to 2 bits, and later I'll go for the 4-bit multiplication. First we'll try to study about the binary multiplier with the 2 bits. So see now, actually what to say, making of this slide was much difficult to me. So I thought of just drawing it on a whiteboard and taking a picture of snap of that one. And similarly for the multiplication, it has got more number of logic circuits will be there. Logic schematic diagrams will be there. So I have not put it as a slide. I have not designed any kind of PPT, but instead I have written that one, or else I have taken a handwritten notes, or else I have done it on the whiteboard. So see, first one, for the binary multiplier. If I do any kind of binary multiplier, take it as a 2-bit binary multiplier. A naught and A1 and B naught and B1 have been multiplied. You can see now. For the multiplication, AND gate is been used where A and B are the inputs and output will be A dot B. So ultimately, in order to do kind of any kind of multiplication, if it is A naught A1, B naught B1, what I do first, B naught is been multiplied with A1, then I get one partial product that is called as A naught B naught. In the similar way, B naught is multiplied with A1. Whenever it is multiplied, I get a partial product that is called A1 and B naught. Depending upon this multiplication, so ultimately I can come across this partial product A1 and B naught. And again, now I have completed one set of multiplication. Next, I'll do multiplication of B1 with A naught and A1. So whenever I do multiplication of B1 with A naught, I'll get this partial product A naught and B1. Similarly, when I do a multiplication with B1 and A1, I get a partial product of A1 and B1. So now we have completed this particular set of partial products. Ultimately, afterwards, what we'll be doing, we need to add this one in order to get the final output of this particular multiplication. For that one, in the binary multiplication, this particular partial product comes down here. Let it be called as P naught, first product, and then here. Let us see now. Whenever you do this one addition of this two particular one, you'll be getting one sum. Let the first sum equal to S naught. This is called as a product one. And we know that whenever you are adding two kind of numbers, you will be getting a sum, and also it will be generating a carry. Carry also will be generated. That's a basic fundamental operation of an adder. Adder will be having two inputs. If it is a two inputs addition is been done, it will be producing two outputs, sum and carry. Let the sum of this addition of these two partial products is S naught, and it produces some carry. Let it be equal to C1. Okay. Now this C1 and this A1 and B1 are been added. Whenever you add this two, you will get another sum, that is S1, that becomes as one of the product, and we have got sum, and simultaneously it produces a carry. Let that carry equal to C2. So ultimately now this entire thing will become as my output of a particular binary multiplier. The same thing now I have put it here in terms of a diagrammatic part. So see now, for the first case, A naught B naught, first input. AND gate is connected here. The inputs of this AND gates are A naught and B naught. It produces some output. Let that output equal to P naught. In the similar way, the second partial product is A1 and B naught. So now here A1 and the input is another input is B naught. It produces some output. That is the output is A1 and B naught. A1 and B naught. So we have obtained up to this part. This is a designing part. Then again, for the second case, what you'll be doing, you are getting an output. The output A naught and B1 is obtained depending upon the AND operation. The AND operation is what? This AND gate is having A naught and the input is B1. So it produces an output of A naught and B1. Similarly, for this one, it produces an output of A1 on the inputs of A1 and B1. It produces an output of A1 dot B1. And now we have completed up to here with the AND gates. We have completed the partial products. Now I need to add all these things. The addition of this one depends upon the full adder. How does this full adder works? The first one, the output has come over here. This becomes my first partial product, becomes a major bit of this output. Then again, these two outputs have been given as an input to the half adder. These two inputs will become as an inputs to the half adder. Two inputs are connected. Why I'm taking only half adder here? Because we know that half adder is a kind of circuit which works on two inputs. I cannot take the full adder over here. I'll be using a full adder whenever I'm trying to add the three inputs. That's a major difference between the full adder and the half adder. Since I'm trying to add only two inputs, I have taken the half adder. Don't get confused why I have not taken full adder over here. So now I have taken the two inputs and that has been added. Whenever I use this adder, half adder as a circuit to add these two inputs, I'll be getting one sum. Let the sum equal to P1 and it produces a carry. That carry becomes as an input to the second addition. That second addition can be done with the help of half adder. It produces some sum and carry, and those are P2 and P3. So this is a simple normal binary multiplication. You can put it, I just explained in terms of A1, A0, A1, B0, B1. You can take it as a binary multiplication as 0, 1 or 1, 0. You try to do that one on your book, you'll get the same thing. And after doing this multiplication, try to draw this diagram. So especially in the multipliers, you should be in a position to explain entire thing and try to put it in terms of logic structures or else in the schematic part. Then only you can you can fetch full marks out of that particular question. So if you're trying to do it 1, 0 and 1, 1, you try to take it as an assignment, you can do that one. And after doing 1, 0 and 1, 1, you draw this circuit. You'll get the same kind of whatever I explained over here. So this is regarding the binary multiplier for two bit numbers. Okay. Now let us see the same kind of multipliers for these kind of numbers. So see now, we are trying to add here A3. It's a 4-bit numbers. Two 4-bit numbers have been added here. The first one is called as a multiplicand and second one is called as a multiplier. Let me consider here A and B are the two 4-bit numbers where we know that this entire operation is happening as serial parallel multiplier. The same thing which we have explained in the previous slide also. The previous slide it was of only 2-bit numbers. Now we are trying to explain with respect to 4-bit numbers. So that's a major difference between the previous one and this one. Here, this is the first one is multiplicand and this is a multiplier. We all know that one. On doing the multiplication of this B0 and A0, you get this one. B0 and A1, you get this one. B0 and A2, you get A2, B0, B0 and A3, you get this one. So ultimately, if you do multiplication, you get this kind of operation. All this kind of partial products have been obtained, and these partial products, once if you try to add this one on as supply, I have put here sign plus sign, it will be producing some outputs over here. So now you will be getting this particular output. So see now, kindly remember, whenever you are trying to multiply same bit multiplicand and multiplier, when you are trying to multiply same bit multiplicand and multiplier, means if I'm trying to multiply 4-bit multiplicand with a 4-bit multiplier, your product will be always 2 times of that one. It will be 8-bit will be obtained as a product. Is in this particular spiral binding, 8 has gone over here. It is P8, P7, P6, P5, P4, P2, P1, and P0. So ultimately, so see now, you will be coming across like 8 numbers will be there. If I'm not wrong, I think it is sorry. I think again I have written this 7 over here. it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it has come up to this part. 8 bit product will be always obtained. If you are trying to multiply any kind of 4-bit numbers, then definitely your product will be of 8-bit number. So that's a small kind of indication to how to understand the product of binary multipliers. So see now, the same thing I have written. I don't know how far it is visible to you. I try to put it as I try to enlarge that one. So the same thing I have written here. The product of two 4-bit numbers will be always a 8-bit number. It has been written in this fashion of a equation. The product depends upon the summation of all the inputs, a k minus 1 and b I. So see now, k minus I and bi. It means what? If it is I equal to 0, you can see in the previous slide. See now, every time it is a is going to be a2 b0, a1 b1. The value is going to change. It depends that particular notation, a2 b2, a1 b3. That notation I have given in terms of this equation. Summation of I is going to be 0 to k, and the value of a will be always the product of this a and b will be in this fashion, a k minus 1 and b into I. The same thing we have written in the equation part over here. And the operation of this one, now we will try to see the constructing of this particular multiplier in terms of a schematic. So let us see how many adders and how many AND gates we need for this one. Let us see the operation. Based on this observation, the algorithm for this particular 4-bit multiplication can be listed as below. Load A. First, in the load A, and the 4 gates, first 4 bits have been ANDed with the B0. What is happening here? All the 4 bits A1, A0, A1, A2, and A3 are been ANDed with B0. The same thing we have written. Then it is going on shifting to the right. It goes on shifting to the right. The next one, and the 4 bits. Second step in the algorithm is what? And the 4 bit with the B1. And the 4 bit with the B1. All the 4 bits have been ANDed with the B1, and then it will be shift to the right. Then again in the fourth one, and the 4 bit with B2, and it will be add, and that will be again shift to the right. This algorithm is in this fashion. The same thing, whatever we have done, we try to put it in terms of the algorithm. So these are the steps of the algorithm. Now this process can be performed with the left shift as well. We can even do with the left shift. We can even write the algorithm with the left shift also. But starting with the B3 for the ANDing process, in the right shift, what you'll be doing, you'll be starting with the B0. If you want to do it with the left shift, again you'll be starting with the B3 from the utmost part. Okay, that will be done. So B3 will be done, and hence a multiplier can be constructed. Now we are coming to the construction part. This multiplier can be constructed with the help of D flip-flop, AND gates, and also full adders. Why we are trying to use full adder here? Definitely you will be getting the 3 inputs which are to be added. So therefore you cannot use here half adder. You are supposed to use a full adder, in which the multiplicand A is held in the parallel and the multiplier B is fed in the serial manner. Why? Because the multiplicand A is holding. We are trying to held one particular value. So that's why we are trying to use the flip-flops over here. So therefore, we call this multiplier is held in parallel manner, and the multiplicand is held in parallel manner and multiplier is held in serial manner. We call this kind of multiplier as also serial parallel multiplier. Let us see this construction. This is the construction of this particular multiplier. You can see here all the D flip-flops which are used for this one. Okay, this is for this all what is that B number, and this is for the A number, and the same operation can be done with the help of AND operation. And since it is getting the 3 inputs, one input is over here, second input, and the third input comes. So that's why we call it as a full adders have been used. And again that full adder is stored again in the D flip-flops, and ultimately you produce some output. So output will be P7, P6, P5, P4, P3, and P2, and up to P0. If you are using the 4-bit numbers, 4-bit number and 4-bit number, you are been multiplied. Multiplicand is of 4-bit and multiplier is of 4-bit. If you multiply these two 4-bit numbers, you will be getting an output of 8-bit numbers. So this was regarding this binary multiplication, which is also called as serial parallel multiplier. Now let us see the second kind of multiplier, which is called as a Braun multiplier. This Braun multiplier is also called as an array multiplier. Braun multiplier is also called as an array multiplier. Let us see how this operation goes on. So see now, this is also called as an array multiplier, in which multiplication is achieved in a straightforward way, just as similar to the normal multiplication which we do. It is achieved in a similar fashion, uh, which is illustrated in the previous case, which is illustrated above. Means actually, as per my notes, it is the previous one was serial parallel multiplication. Hence, both the operands inputs are simultaneously and the bitwise ANDing and addition have been performed. Similarly, what we are doing there, we are trying to AND the operation. AND operation means you are trying to multiply the operands, and then again you are trying to add that one. The same thing will be done over here. It's an array multiplier, one after another. Thus, the circuit requires here 6 AND gates and 12 full adders. 12 full adders have been used. So this is how the Braun multiplier can be done. And the difference between this previous one and the this one is that these Braun multipliers are mainly used for the positive operands only. You cannot go for negative operands. So that's a major difference between the previous serial parallel multiplier and the Braun multiplier. You will be using only the positive operands. It's a straightforward approach here. Positive operands have been used. You can see it cannot be used. It is not suitable for the negative operands. Why? Because we'll be going in a straightforward method where negative operands, negative numbers cannot be used. For the negative numbers, there are another kind of multipliers like called we'll be using Borg-Woolley multipliers, and apart from that one, you'll be even having another kind of multiplier called Booth multipliers. You might have heard about the Booth algorithms. Most of you might have seen this Booth algorithms in the project list, which you are trying to take it up for the short-term project or else long-term projects. Booth multiplication is very important kind of multipliers. Apart from this, all the multipliers which you have seen over here, even in the definitely, if you are trying to attempt any kind of question in a GATE question paper, you'll be having a question on Booth multiplier. So for that reason, I have not put this Booth multiplier over here, where you are supposed to study in detail that one. So I cannot complete the Booth multiplier just by explaining this one. I need to take it and explain with the help of an example. That thing we can see in the next class regarding Booth multiplier. So next one is a Borg multiplier, Borg-Woolley multiplier. The difference between this one and the next Borg-Woolley multiplier is that you'll be having an what is that, inverter have been used. Inverters have been used. Why we are trying to use an inverter? This particular Braun multiplier cannot be used for the negative operands. We'll be using it only for the positive operands. So therefore, in order to use it for the negative operands, we'll be using an inverter for the AND gates over here, so that negative will become as a positive again, and we can use that one. So that's a major constructional part of a difference between the Braun multiplier and the Borg-Woolley multiplier. So see now, Borg-Woolley multiplier. In the Borg-Woolley multiplier, it's a modification or the modified version of a Braun multiplier, which is mainly suitable for the negative operands. Negative operands also, we can use both the positive operand also negative operand. So that's a major difference between the Braun multiplier and the Borg-Woolley multiplier, where you will be using the modification in the circuit is that in terms of complementing of the selected inputs and the inclusion of 3 more adders have been done. You can see now. You can see now this one NOT gate is applied, another NOT gate is applied, and this NOT gates. These NOT gates are nothing else but which are mainly used for to add that negative operands also. If any kind of negative numbers comes, we are supposed to add. Most probably, how you do the negative binary multiplication? Can anyone tell me how a negative binary multiplication can be done? If I need to multiply 5 into -7, if I need to multiply 5 into -7 in binary number, my answer has to be anyway -35. Can anyone tell me how you do that one? Binary multiplication with a negative number.
Sign bit will be 1, sir.
Sorry?
Sign bit.
Sign bit will be 1. Okay, fine, good. Next. Whenever you're going to multiply a positive number with a negative number, the thing is that what you do is that for the negative number, you'll be converting that negative number, which is in the form of binary, into the 2's complement. First, you convert it in the 2's complement, then that 2's complement number will be multiplied with the first one, 5. When you multiply, ultimately you get a product that will be equal to minus 35. So that's a major multiplication aspect, how the negative numbers have been multiplied. Those numbers can be done with the help of this AND gates. Those kind of multiplications will be done over here. So this is regarding the Borg-Uge multipliers. So this is a constructional part of Borg-Uge multipliers. In the next class, we'll try to see in detail about, with an example, I'll try to explain what is called as a Booth algorithm, how the Booth algorithm will be working, and is there any kind of modification done to the Booth algorithm in order to get the operation. Why? Because all this multiplier which you have seen here, most probably will be hardly a part of minimum weightage questions. It will be only for the minimum weightage questions. But as for the multiplier, in my case, the serial parallel multiplier is very important. That's why I have gone in detail about the serial parallel multiplier. And the next important question will be Booth multipliers. So these are the most important questions as per any kind of university question paper is concerned. In the next class, we'll try to study in detail about Booth multiplier with the help of examples. We can take the same examples again there. I'll try to take an example. I don't know how to make up the PPT slides. I'll try to put it on any kind of whiteboard again, and I'll bring up the slide share over here, pics over here. I'll try to explain 5 into minus 7, minus 5 into minus 7, minus 5 into 7. We'll try to see in all the cases, in minus 5 into 7, I need to get a product of minus 35. Minus 5 into minus 7, I need to get a product of 35. And 5 into minus 7, I need to get a minus 35. So we'll try to see how these multiplications can be done with the help of Booth multiplier. And the Booth algorithm is also very important. It's a research topic also. You can see if you search on Google or any kind of search engine, you'll get n number of research papers on the Booth algorithms. So just now, as we have seen an algorithm for the serial parallel multiplier, in the similar fashion, we'll try to see the multiplication